Today we're going to talk about how you can do programmatic SEO with AI. Programmatic SEO refers to the creation of keyword targeted pages in an automatic or near automatic way. So what this means is you want to generate hundreds, if not thousands, of keywords on a specific topic or interest area to then hopefully rank on Google and get more traffic that way. So this differs from what you'd consider normal SEO, where people manually write blog posts one at a time and then rank for those keywords one by one. This is a strategy employed by huge tech companies like Canva, where they have templates, all sorts of templates. And if you search up like YouTube thumbnail template or TikTok template, they'll be near the top. So that's an example of programmatic SEO. In the past, to do programmatic SEO, you generally needed a software developer or you needed to code in order to be able to generate hundreds, thousands of pages. But today we'll be doing programmatic SEO with AI and make.com, so you won't need to do any coding at all. Great, let's get into it. So today what I'll be doing programmatic SEO on is software salaries. So before you begin, you first need to find a good data set that you're going to do your programmatic SEO on. Depending on your niche or your customer's niche, you'll need to do some keyword research. Here you could sort of use your classic tools like Hrefs or SEMrush or whatever tool you use to come up with a list of keywords. Or you could go the other way and just have a look at what data is out there. You can look in stats databases, you could scrape websites. You can sort of be very creative with how you want to come up with a data set to use. So this is just a random data set I found online. I probably actually wouldn't use this if I was doing programmatic SEO for real, because this data is quite noisy, but it's a perfect example for this tutorial because I think it's pretty simple to understand what this data is referring to. So what we'll be doing is for each job title, we have the title, we have the location, we have the company size, and we have the salary. We're going to be pulling all of that information, passing it into AI to then generate a page or a blog post to post, and then we'll post that to our blog. So in my last video, we talked about how to generate a single blog post with 10,000 plus words, so long form blog posts. Today we're doing basically the opposite. How do we generate lots of posts, so thousands or tens of thousands of blog posts at once? And after watching both of my videos, you can actually combine these two strategies, right? You can actually generate thousands of blog posts with each one being tens of thousands of words long, if you want to. Cool, let's get into it. So I've got the spreadsheet ready to go, but assuming you have that ready, you need to start with the Google Sheets module. And what you want to do is use the search rows function to retrieve the data from the spreadsheet. So this takes a bit of time to load. So the spreadsheet, I've called it AI software salaries. So it's pulling that in. The sheet name's just sheet 1. Yes, I have headers and I don't need that many columns, so this will just make it run a bit faster. So I'm only using the first A to K column, so A to Z will be fine. I don't need to filter anything, I just want to return the first. I have actually 10,000 rows in here, but for this tutorial I'm just going to run with 3, otherwise we'll be here waiting all day for it to write the 10,000 articles. So I'm just going to do 3. If I was doing this for real, I would test it with 2 to 3 rows first, and once I am confident that my process is working well, then I will run it with 1,000 at a time, is generally what I do, to generate 1,000 blog posts at a time. So let's test that first to make sure it's retrieving. So this should return the first 3 rows. Yes, so it looks like it's retrieving. Yeah, it's got the work year, everything there. So the next step is actually to turn this into an array. So in Make, we have an array aggregator. So you can think of this as turning these rows into a list for us. So what do we actually want? So I want the experience level. I want the employment type, job title. Let's get the salary in USD, company location, company size. Let's just go with that for now. Depending on what content you're producing, you'll select the relevant fields there. So let's run that quickly. So this is still running on just the first 3 rows. It should come out as one array. So we've got one array now and 3 items in there, and you can see it's got the fields that we want. Just perfect. Cool. So now what we need to do is iterate or loop through each of these and pass these values into a prompt for the AI or the large language model to write a blog post. So let's do that now. So to do that, we need to use the iterator block in Make. So iterator, and we're iterating on the array. And for each iteration, we need to pass it into a AI model. If you've watched my last few videos, you know I've been using Claude a lot recently. You can use OpenAI for this as well if you want. It's really up to you. I'm just going to use Haiku for the tutorial, but if you want good quality content, you obviously want to use the best model, so Opus. I'm going to just say 1,000 tokens. Just in this testing period, if I was doing this for real, I'd increase the tokens to get longer blog posts. And again, if you've watched my last video on how to generate long form content, you could do that as well. So you could do the generate content brief first and iterate through each of the subheadings in the content brief to generate super long form content. So this time what I want to do is I want to give it a prompt. So I'm going to say, please help me write a blog post on the following topic. And this is where I insert the different data, right? So title will be something like, let's put in job title, salary in, say, company location for companies with, see what the field was, company size for size companies. And then content brief. For experience level and employment type, can make in size companies. In this blog post, please expand on what the general responsibilities for this role are, some fun facts about the location, and that should be enough to begin with. So you can see here I'm taking all the data that I've pulled from the spreadsheet and inserting it into my prompt. This is just the prompt I've come up with on the fly right now. Depending on what sort of content you're producing, you'd obviously want to tweak your prompt. I'm going to quickly add a system message as well. So I'll say you are an experienced blog post writer. Cool. So let's run through all that now. What should be happening is we'll get 3 blog posts because we're just pulling the first 3 rows from the spreadsheet. So let's run that. So you'll see we've got 1 post now, it's still running. Let's see what we got. So it's written a blog post on training coordinator salary in US for M company. So we can change M for to medium. Uncovering the rewarding career of a salary. So you can see it's written in a huge blog post. It's really nice. And this is stuff that people will find useful if they're Googling this. Like I imagine if I was looking for jobs as a training coordinator, I'd be interested in how much salary I could be making. And yeah, you would tweak the prompt so it doesn't say M companies, it says medium companies and all that sort of stuff. So you can see here there's 3 different blog posts already. Yeah, cool. So from here you can kind of do whatever you want, right? Like some people will just write this back into the Google Sheet so that they can tweak it, edit it, add metadata, add blog post images and that sort of stuff. or you can actually just post directly to WordPress or Webflow or whatever blogging site you used. So if I wanted to post it directly to WordPress, I'll just put in a WordPress block and write create a post. I don't have mine set up, but you would just put in the content here and fill out the fields, and for each iteration through, it will post directly to WordPress. If you wanted to write it back to a spreadsheet, then I would add another Google Sheets block here, and then you can add a row for each output back into the spreadsheet. So maybe we can do that as an example here. So I'll have an output sheet, and what I want to do is so we need to choose the spreadsheet and then the spreadsheet name, and then we're going to say contains headers, and then what we're going to do is put in this, and then we'll call the first column content, right? Cool. So let's run that. I'm going to quickly update this. So only return the blog post content without any other text. So let's run this. So I should get 3 blog posts in the output sheet in Google Sheets. Cool, so it's running through now. You should have 1 already. Nice. Another one here. Still saying here is the blog post content. You can obviously tweak the prompt to get rid of that. But look, I've got 3 blog posts already. Very nice. Cool. And yeah, so once you've sort of ironed out your prompt and all that sort of stuff, what you do is go back to your array aggregator, and then, you go back to your Google Sheets and then turn this up to 1,000, and it will run. The only other thing I would recommend you do is within your iterator, I would recommend adding I think it's called a sleep or a wait, just because you'll probably run into rate limits on your large language model. So I would sort of recommend waiting between each one. I generally recommend waiting sort of 30 seconds, or you probably get away with 10 seconds between each blog post, just so you don't run into any rate limits on the large language model. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I went through pretty quick, so feel free to give this a rewatch or leave any questions down below, and I'll try to get back to you.